You know, when I was 17, 18, 19, I had no guidance at the time. I didn't have anybody to talk to. I didn't have anybody to guide me at that time. From a younger age, I would tend to categorize things a lot. I used to categorize people. I used to categorize everything in my surroundings as a way to almost have a sense of control over reality. And when I was younger and I was insecure, what happened was I started to develop these belief systems that would give me comfort at the time that weren't necessarily true. And because it would give me temporary comfort at the moment, I believed these things to be fact. And I held so firmly onto these belief systems that I would subconsciously avoid situations, people, events that would disprove the beliefs I had about the world. I didn't realize the full extent of the negative impact these beliefs had. I had a negative perception of people in general. I had certain negative perceptions when it came to dating and women and stuff like that. And I would look for evidence for these things to be true. For example, I would read books or watch YouTube videos of people that reinforce these beliefs that I had. This caused me to be a very closed off person. This caused me to become a very antisocial person because I had preconceived notions about people and things and events and everything like that. And when you're living your life in a way where, you know, everything has already been defined in your mind, everything has already been judged and predetermined, new experiences will tend to scare you. And that's how it was for me. I would avoid experiencing new things because whatever didn't fit into my belief system or my world that I've created for myself, I wouldn't let inside. One of the biggest things I think that if I would have went back and talked to my younger self was be careful about what kind of belief systems you believe in. I believe that your whole reality is shaped by your belief system. Whatever you believe is, you will see that in your life. And I can give you a very extreme example of the kind of stuff I would do. So if I was out and about, okay, and I would see an attractive girl, and I would almost label the girl instantly as being a hoe, because I would be like, oh, I know that kind of girl, she's a slut. And slutty girls have this kind of behavior. So instantly I would almost cock block myself and prevent myself from even being able to connect with this person because I've already labeled them in my mind. All without knowing that that label I put on her was almost a buffer for rejection and to preserve my ego. Because like I said, my belief systems was all about preserving me, preserving my image, preserving my ego. So in a way, I would do that not because I had evidence that she was a hoe, but it was more because I didn't want to, there was too much fear associated with the possibility of getting rejected by her that I would rather put a label on her to give myself an excuse to not approach her. And all as a way to preserve and protect myself and my ego and my self-image. So that's one way, for example, belief systems affected me. The other way was judging the future based off of past experiences. So if I went to a house party before and the type of people at a house party in the past was all douchebags, in the future, whenever, anytime I would think about the concept of a house party or get invited to one, I would associate a house party with douchebag people, because in the past, when I went to a house party, it was full of douchebags. So in the future, if I go, it's going to be full of douchebags again. So why would I put myself through that again? And it might sound very illogical when you put it this way, but a lot of this was subconscious. I wasn't aware I was doing this at the time. My conscious mind would find answers to why I don't want to do these things. And a lot of these answers were false. They weren't true. They were surface level answers. They were answers that soothed the ego. They weren't the true answers. You know, me admitting to myself that I felt insecure in front of somebody else, I would lie and just say that person is a douchebag and that's why I don't like them and that's why I don't want to talk to them, rather than admitting the fact that, you know, this person brings up insecure feelings about myself, which is why I don't want to talk to them. And a lot of this stuff is subconscious. A lot of this stuff has been developed through our early years when we were kids. So by the time we're adults now, we're kind of reacting to them, but we don't actually know where they came from, or we don't even know that we even have them. So we don't even have awareness around the belief to begin with. When I got to an age, including now, when I've gotten awareness of this and I've realized that and I've realized the power your belief systems have, I'm able to almost shift my reality. And so I do think that it's important to have a set of belief systems to live by. But I would say the best way to go by deciding what kind of belief that you want in your life is having a goal in life and then seeing if that belief system takes you closer to that goal or further from it. For example, if I'm somebody who wants to be an influencer, if I want to talk on camera, if I want to vlog, or if I want to do that kind of stuff, you know, I want to be a social media personality. And I think that social media personalities are all narcissistic, and that if you do it, that you're a shallow person and it's superficial and that it's a negative thing, then that belief system is not going to help me become a content creator. For me, I did have that belief system too in the beginning. I used to think that if you put a camera on yourself, you're insecure and that you're just looking for attention. And although that could be true, and there is people out there who do that for that reason, I can't say that it's everybody that does it. And I could tell you right now that my intention to make videos is to provide value. If I get attention as a byproduct, that's cool, but that's not my main focus. That's not what I mainly want to get. That's just something that comes with it. But my main priority is to provide value, is to share knowledge, wisdom, skills, whatever other things I've learned. Another limiting belief, for example, that I see a lot of guys having, is the belief system that girls only care about money. Girls only care if you're good looking. Girls only care if you're 6 feet tall. Shit like that, you know? Like, if you're somebody who wants to get a girlfriend, right? And you have a belief that a girl doesn't want you unless you have X amount of money in your bank account, well, then you'll look into the world and you'll look for evidence to prove yourself right. That's just kind of what we all do with our belief systems. And if you look for evidence for that to be right, there's a lot of evidence out there to prove you right. There is a lot of girls out there who do care about your bank account, but that's not every girl. Because you have this belief and because you're looking for evidence of this belief, you're so focused on proving your belief to be right that you're missing out on all the other women that don't really care about your bank account, who don't care about, you know, the height or the money. And I can reassure you that there is a lot that not all girls care about money. Not all girls care about looks. Not all girls care if you're 6 feet tall. That's just not the case. You know, I've personally experienced that. I've noticed this nowadays in our culture because, you know, there's a lot of stuff on the internet now where a lot of guys have this belief, you know, that I need to be like this and like this and like this to attract women. So if you are a guy out there who wants to get a girlfriend and let's say you don't have enough money or you don't have this kind of stuff, those are all good stuff to go after, but I want you to consciously alter those beliefs. I want you to tell yourself, there is girls out there who care about that shit, but there's a lot of girls out there who don't really care about how much money I make. There's girls who like you for your personality, not about your money. There's girls out there who like you for, you know, the way you carry yourself, not so much about your looks. And when you switch this belief system, you will notice instantly in the world that you will start to look for that to be true. And when you look for that, you will find it. And you'll find it in many different ways. That's just how our minds work. I want you to question why you think you can't do certain things. I want you to question why you can't have certain things. I want you to question the beliefs that you have. There's actually this interesting story, you know, it's by Wayne Dyer. He was saying that, you know, he once moved to Hawaii from the States, and whenever he'd meet people there who just moved there also, just like him, they'd always ask him, you know, they'd be like, what do you think about this place? You know, how are the people here? Are the people good here? And he'd always ask the person, how are the people from where you came from? How are the people in your home country where you moved from? And, you know, one person was like, oh, they're, you know, everybody's so superficial. They're such assholes. Everybody only cares about themselves. And Wayne Dyer looked at them and he's like, well, people are here. They're just the same way. And another person asked him, hey, how's it like moving here? You know, I just moved here. How are the people? He's like, how are the people from where you come from? And they said, oh, well, they're nice. You know, I love the people in my city. I had so many friends there, you know, beautiful city, but you know what? I got a new job here, so I had to move here for that. And if it wasn't for that, I probably would have been still living there. He was like, you know what? People in this place, they're the exact same way. So that's like a good analogy to show you that whatever your worldview is, whatever you believe in, that's going to be true. Your brain is going to pay attention to that, and your reality is shaped by your worldview. So alter your belief systems and alter your reality.